All right, Rob. You guys stretched your winning streak to 5 games after going on the road and beating Livingston 54-28. A lot of people thought, especially in the media, they thought it would be a close game with both teams going 5-1 overall. What was the difference?
I think what difference was confidence. We, going into the game, we really felt confident we would come out on top. Had I thought that we would be able to score as many points, no. I thought that they would be competitive enough for us that we would have a solid game against those guys. I felt confident though scoring, being able to score points. I just didn't think we'd be able to get that high. And then defensively, I knew that they would be able to get some points here and there on us. They got 31 on us last year, and it's not an easy offense to defend by any means. It's not. It's a lot of misdirection. It's a lot of discipline on your part, and then also they do some different things out of it. It's not always the same stuff. So they mix it up and change the tempo up a little bit, and throws our guys off a little bit. But we adjusted well, and initially with the initial game plan that we had in, it was enough to get us through and pull through and get the victory for us.
It's been a while since you guys have been home. You haven't been here since, I think, it's September 24th for your homecoming game against Downey.
Yeah.
I'm willing to bet that the boys are probably pretty excited to get back here and after such a long layoff.
Yeah. It's funny. I was talking to some of the other guys today, and they didn't realize that the last time they actually get to wear their red jerseys was the Houston game, which that was way back before we played Escalon, before homecoming, and all that stuff. Because with homecoming we had the white out, so we've been in the white jerseys for a while. So not only are we coming back at home, but we finally get to put on our red jerseys again and play some football, Patterson style. So it's gonna be fun. We're excited. It's the Tiger Bowl, the Stubbs Bowl, whatever you want to call it. But it's either way, the winner has their control of their own destiny from here on out, and the loser's going to have to play catch up and root for some teams along the way to get a shot at getting that championship. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a lot of fun.
You're up against a new team to the WAC this week in Los Banos. They're 2-0 in league as well. I think they beat Ceres and Central Valley by a combined score of 84-6. Combined both scores.
Yeah.
Is it safe to say this is so far the biggest game of the season for your boys?
Oh yeah, definitely. We had a big one with Granada. We had a big one with Escalon. But with this game being able to separate yourself, with only 5 league games, the first one to get 3-0 is going to be, and like I said, in the driver's seat. So that's how important this is. Those other games, those Granadas and Escalons, those got us ready for league. This one gets you ready for your championship run. So that's what this game comes down to. So that's how we're treating it. But by far, yeah, it's definitely the biggest game that we've seen, going back all the way back to the Escalon game and the Granada game.
I imagine Los Banos, they might be new to the league, but I imagine you and your team has probably been doing some scouting, watching some videos. What do you know about Los Banos, and what's their style of play?
Well, I know that they've got a large squad in terms of sheer numbers. They've got enough guys to where they go what they call platooning. So there's going to have, they're going to have offensive starters, they got defensive starters, and so nobody goes both ways. There's an occasional crossover here and there in some certain personnel groups, but that's about it. And so they've got the luxury of, their practices may be a little shorter, but they're focused on one side of the ball for the most part here on out, from the beginning of their practice. But they play very tough defense. They play solid defense. They like to control the clock and run the ball and run some power-o stuff on offense. Pass when they need to, pass when they can, when the defense gives it to them. And so, like I told our guys, it's like you're going to look yourself in the mirror on Friday. You're going to see a team that wants to control the clock and play solid defense and revels in that stuff. And so that's what they want to do. And we're going to be able to game plan for a little bit. And there's some things that we can do to exploit some things for them. There's some things we need to take care of that they do really well. And so, all in all, it has the makings for a really, really good game. A really solid WAC championship style game.
Last question. With 3 games left on the schedule, you guys have a strong record right now. You're 6-1. Are you starting to peek over at the playoffs picture and kind of see how that's kind of shaping up this early?
Well, you can peek. You can look and see. You can really, the only thing you can do is, because so many games if you look down the line, if you try to like project here and project there, there's a lot of games that are going to be decided, playoff spots, seeding, all that stuff's going to be decided in that final week. And so, because there's some leagues that have, you know, essentially their league title game is going to be in week 10 or 11, whatever you want to call it. So the biggest thing you can do right now is you can look at see who's not going to make it. That's really the biggest thing you can do. You know, who's eliminated by far, you know, who's eliminated themselves right now. And so the list can only narrow from there. So at one time, you know, when we had 5 wins, the undefeated teams had 6. You know, 6, 5, 4, and 3 were all in the hunt. The 2s were kind of on the outside looking in. There were 78 teams that had 3 wins or more. So only 64 make it. So we're still not even close to being at the level of being able to say these guys are in, these guys are out. Let's see where we fall from there. It's going to get clearer and clearer every week, but it's not going to be a thing that we can really hang our hat on until, you know, the final game, until we get the seedings on Saturday morning, you know, after the last game.